Did not take it down. Did not take it down. Yo, it's your boy DT on the final statement with DT. Sorry about that. I forgot to take my graphic down at the beginning of the show. Welcome to my second episode of the final statement with DT. As you know, this show is about recapping the week in review, hot topics, politics, all different topics, music, sports, everything. And today my show is it's gonna be sports based for the most part. Well, for the whole majority of the whole hour of the show. My first half of the show, I got a young athlete out of North Carolina, class of 2027. He defensive end, wide receiver, plays for the South Central Falcons. Known this young man a couple years right now. Seen him at a basketball sporting event. Got to sit down and talk with him. One of the best interviews I had at that sporting event because his game was basketball. So we're going to sit down and talk a little bit about his current season, as well as we're going to talk a little college football, a little NFL. And then the second half of my show, I'm going to do a recap of last night. As you know, it was the WWE Bad Blood pay-per-view that was here in Atlanta, Georgia at State Farm Arena. Me, my son, his friend Sam, we're going to sit down and recap each match, what we thought about it. We go grade each match. We go also talk about who should have been on pay-per-view and what match they could have left off, because it was a match definitely they could have left off because it wasn't even worth being on a pay-per-view. But hey, I appreciate y'all. When I get back, I'm going to have Jaylond Tate on the show with me. We're going to talk about his season, talk a little bit about NFL, college football. We're going to talk a little bit of everything. So don't go away. Take a minute, commercial break. And I know I got to support, as always, regardless if you like it or not. I'm going to support my girl on my platform because I think she should be our next president of the United States of America. So I'm going to give her this time, and I'll be right back.
On the border, the choice is simple. Kamala Harris supports increasing the number of Border Patrol agents. Donald Trump blocked a bill to increase the number of Border Patrol agents. Kamala Harris supports investing in new technology to block fentanyl from entering the country. Donald Trump blocked funding for technology to block fentanyl from entering the country. Kamala Harris supports spending more money to stop human traffickers. Donald Trump blocked money to stop human traffickers. Kamala Harris prosecuted transnational gang members and got them sentenced to prison. Trump is trying to avoid being sentenced to prison. There's two choices in this election: the one who will fix our broken immigration system, and the one who's trying to stop her.
And welcome back to my show. I got my guy on the show, Jaylond Tate out of North Carolina. Welcome to the show, man.
What's good? How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for taking a moment to sit down with me for interview, man. So how's everything going first?
Everything's been good. Definitely a surprising sophomore year coming out of my freshman year last year. A lot of things not expected, a lot of things given, a lot of things worked for. So just looking to get better in the future.
Okay, man. So before we get started, let me give everybody a little bit about you. This is my guy, Jaylond Tate, class of 2027. He goes to, and I'm going to pull up South Central High School. The football team is called South Central Falcons. So far this season, he has 11 sacks, 21 tackles. He's a defensive end as well as a wide receiver. He also plays basketball. One of the top players in North Carolina basketball class of 2027. Man, you do everything up in North Carolina, right?
Man, that's how we built down here. That's what we do.
Good, man. Well, I'm definitely glad to get the chance to talk to you because let everybody know we known each other 2 years ago, met at the Junior Phenom tournament, and I got to see him perform, and he really put on a show, man. Tell me about that little time when we met. How was that?
That was a good time in my life right there. Meeting you and the interview when I came home, a lot of people, it helped me out a lot. It helped me out a lot. A lot of people seeing like the way I was talking, things like that. It was really big. I was hooping well in that time. I really was focused on basketball more than football. I was really getting to it, man. I was really devoted, really had that mindset, really ready. I'm still like that. So yeah.
Okay, man. So let's talk a little bit about your current season, what's going on. So right now, you all are 5-2, is that correct?
Yes, sir. We're 5-2.
Okay, man. So tell me how the season has changed from your freshman year until now your sophomore year.
Well, my freshman year, I was on JV, so I was sort of upset about that, because I want to play varsity, but I had to learn to trust the process. That's something that the community at South Central definitely helped me do, was learn to trust my coaches, trust the people around me, and the people that support me. Um, I think the work that I put in last year really helped me this year. It's starting to show, with the stats and all that. It's starting to show. Um, so I really just think all the work and all the time and everything I put into it, it really just it's starting to show now. So I think what I'm doing is well deserved based off the work that I put in.
Okay, man. So tell me a little bit about some of your what games stood out to you the most for yourself this year.
Dang, we had some good ones. Um, Honestly, our rival game, we took a hard L, but I really proved to myself because it's one thing. No offense, it's one thing playing against like 2A schools, 1A schools. Down here, that's really like schools that have a lower amount of people, so they don't really have the chance to have them top athletes like that. So going into Jay's Rose game, we really didn't know, like who we were going against. Like even though that's a rival, we know them kids, but them kids work just as hard as us. So it was hard, but I proved to myself that I could play on that level of football, and I could do what I need to do to help my team win. So I was really locked in, and I was really loving that.
Okay, man. So you actually had a highlight that made the local news in North Carolina. Tell me about that.
Kinston game. It was in the second half. We were playing. No, what was score? Score was 21-7. Um, I remember I came down. I hit a DN. Offensive tackle with a move, and he just went the opposite way. And I seen the quarterback, and on the field, my favorite thing to do is kill. So I had to do it.
Got you, man.
You know,
Got you, man. So how many more games y'all have left this season? Is like 3?
3 or 4, yes sir, 3 or 4.
Okay. What game are you looking forward to that's coming up?
Um, Honestly, we're 5-2 right now. I'm really just looking forward to the playoffs. You know,
Okay.
I really playoffs is a thing South Central hasn't done in a couple years. So getting to the playoffs is gonna be big for my school, and I want to be a part of it. So that's what I want to do. That's what I'm looking forward to the most.
Tell me about your coaching staff. How's that?
Oh, coaching staff at South, man, I gotta love them. I gotta love them. They're a big part of the success. Um, all the way from even on the basketball side, track, everything. It's a big part of the success. My coaches have done a lot for me. In school, outside of school, transportation, just everything. They really helped out. Really helped out.
Okay, man. Well, I'm glad to see that y'all having a productive season. I'm loving that your sophomore season is better than your ranking higher than your freshman season. So that's a good thing. Where y'all ranking at in North Carolina right now? Your region? Where y'all rank at in your region?
I think in North Carolina. I think I want to say 89th, but in our like region, we're third. We're third, I believe. I believe we're third. And I
Okay.
think Jacksonville and New Bern are first and second.
Okay, cool, man. I know something a little different about you. Something being cut off. What happened
Yeah,
there?
man. Cut off the hair.
What made you do that?
I just wanted to change it up. New season, new me. Let's get to it. Let's put in the work. So you feel me?
Okay,
Let's talk.
man. Let's jump into some college football real quick. So, of course, we know Alabama had a kind of hard week. They last week they defeated the Georgia Bulldogs. Yes, thank you. I like that because I don't like the Bulldogs. This week they went up against Vanderbilt and lost, and that was Vanderbilt's first win against a top 5 team ever in school history. Um, What you thought about that game, man? What you thought about the ground
Um,
call?
I really feel like that's why you don't underestimate anybody because Vanderbilt came out to play. They hit them hard straight off the bat with a lot of energy. They came out to play. They wanted to win and they got it. So underestimating people, it can go the wrong way sometimes. So you always got to respect your opponent.
Right. Did you were you surprised when Georgia lost last week to Alabama?
Even though I have my money on Georgia, I wasn't surprised. Alabama has a young wide receiver, Ron Williams. The kid's tough. The kid can play, and he's only a year older than me playing college football. So that says a lot right there. The kid can play. I mean, he come down, catch the ball, break 3 or 4 tackles, and score. And he just had great acceleration with the ball in his hands after the route. So, it's sort of hard to stop somebody like that, even with multiple defenders on the side.
Right, man. Well, I'm a fan of neither, but I was just happy that Georgia lost because I'm here in Georgia, so everybody big Georgia fans. I ain't never been a UGA fan.
So what's your team, man? What's your team?
I don't really got a college football team. I'm more basketball than anything, but I pay attention to, but it's not like I'm gonna run and go see a college football game like that. So I don't, but if I cheer for anybody, if I do, it probably be Tech, but Tech hasn't been good in years. So it all good. It's all good on that. Okay, man. So let's jump into this Miami game that happened last weekend, the controversial win over on Virginia Tech. And I see it was a callback, an overturned Hail Mary touchdown. Did you get to catch that game?
I caught a little bit of it. I did catch a little bit of it. I caught the end, and I seen a lot of highlights on Instagram and YouTube. So yeah, I caught most of it. Actually, I caught most of it.
What you thought about that overturn call? It could have changed the game there. I
feel like a lot of fans are gonna be mad, but at the end of the day, the game is the game, and the refs are the refs. The refs gotta put the game in that position, and that's what they did. And you see how it turned out. You see how it turned out. So, but I feel like. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I feel like a couple things could have been done differently by Miami in the third quarter, But hey, they a Power 5 school, so they do what they want.
Right. Okay, man. Let's jump into this. I want to talk to you. This one time, I really want to talk to you about NIL, the NIL deals. Do you think they're helping or hurting the league? Because right now, I mean, I think it's good, especially if you use someone's likeness and something they get paid. But what do you think about it? And are you looking forward to getting your NIL deal one day?
All right, let's first touch on do I think it's good or bad? I think that it's good, especially for some of these young kids come in high school, things like that. North Carolina just passed the law that we could get NIL, so I'm excited for that. But I feel like it's really helping these young kids because these young kids, they're getting these NILs, not only getting money, but doing commercials, things like that, getting their name out there, doing things just to help get their name out there and make them more known, which is really, really good in the state of sports, So I really do think they're good. Now, they do, just like everything in life, they have pros and cons. So certain things come with it, So maybe sometimes people don't want to pay up, or certain businesses don't want to do certain stuff that would be well for the customer. But that's life. You got to work with things like that sometimes. So I still believe that they're really good, though. Really, really good.
Are you looking Are you looking forward to getting your NIL deal soon?
Yes, I am. I want an NIL deal bad, but it's all about patience and work. So I want it. I gotta work for it. So let's get it.
Got you, man. Well, you go get there. Keep working, man. Cause I know you overall very talented. So it definitely coming your way. It's coming your way soon, man. Let me talk to you. I want to hear. Let's talk about this poll. The AP poll just dropped the top 25 in the league, and we see it was a big drop because, which I wasn't not surprised, but Alabama dropped down to number 8. Georgia moved up a little bit. I'm looking at it right now. I see the new number one is the Texas Longhorn, who's undefeated. What you think about this on the top 25 right now?
I feel like Georgia probably shouldn't have been moved up. Alabama's about where they're supposed to be due to taking that loss to Vanderbilt. But Longhorn is number one, man. Wow. They're undefeated, but a lot of
Who
good
you think?
people.
Oh, you think Ohio should have been number one over Texas?
Yes, sir. I do.
Okay. What about Oregon? Oregon number 3.
Oregon. What's their record?
5-0.
5-0. They're undefeated too.
I feel like Oregon.
And then Penn State. I feel like Oregon's right where they're supposed to be. Based on the top 2 teams, I feel like Oregon's where they're supposed to be.
Okay. And this basically go off with the next question. I'm gonna ask you your top 5. So who you think should be the top 5 right now in top 5 team? That's
Ohio State would be 1. Texas, you can't deny a win, so Texas would be 2.
Oregon, you got Penn State, you got the Bulldog, you got the Hurricane, you got Alabama, you got Tennessee, you got Ole Miss.
I'm gonna say this based off what I watch and what I like to watch when I'm watching football. I'm gonna put Miami at 3. That's who I would like to see at 3.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put Penn State at 4, and we'll go Georgia 5.
Okay. So you do have Georgia above Alabama right now.
Yes, I do.
Okay, man. Cool.
Man, come on, they lost to Vanderbilt. They lost to Vanderbilt, man.
Yeah, they did, which was a shocker. I mean, I forgot Vanderbilt was a team, to be honest with you. That's wrong. I forgot they was a team. Okay, man, let's talk a little NFL right now. So the new NFL kickoff rule, and the NFL introduced a new kickoff rule for the 2023-2025 season. Actually, it basically is a 25-yard. They basically can't. In so many words, I'm gonna put it like this because I see how it explained. They basically can't move to me until the ball is landing in the person's hand. Until somebody catch the ball. Basically, that's what it is. What do you think about that? Do you think that's hurting the league, helping the league? What do you think about that new rule?
I think the league. I sort of see what the league's doing. I think they're trying to keep the safety of the players and slow the game down some. But this is American football, man. You can't do that. You can't do that. You can't tell somebody they can't move when the ball gone. Every other concept of football, when the ball moves, you move. And now they want to do this on kids. You can't do that, man. You can't do that. That's wrong. Yeah. That's wrong right there. That's wrong. You telling me by the time he catch the ball, I moved up. And I'm stopped until he catch the ball. So there's no running lanes. There's no running lanes because they haven't been created yet. Because you're just now getting downfield. What hole do I have to look in to see where I'm gonna go? I'm gonna just run to a spot. I ain't gonna know where to go. Cause what hole? Right. No holes have developed. Cause we waiting. Why is we waiting, man? Let's get to it. Play football.
True, man. You right 100% on that. I just it's wild. I don't like it. It kind of softened the game a little bit. And I'm not saying that we need to go back to the old rules back in the day. Cause I know that everybody say, "Oh, y'all, old heads," which I don't put myself in that category. But the old head wanted like they days, and I was like, no, I like to see competition. I like to see contact. I want to see real sport. And sooner or later, go get to the point that you won't be in another 10 or 15, you won't be able to touch the quarterback. The quarterback will be able to just stand back there and you can't hit him. You could tap him and you touch him. The play's over with.
When that happened, I'm not playing football no more. Cause my favorite thing to do is sack the quarterback. That's my favorite thing.
Oh, it gonna be over. It gonna be past your generation. It probably be when you about to retire from football. And maybe they gonna turn around there and gonna be like that because it getting to the point. It is pretty bad that we have to. They changing rules in football and basketball. It gets to the point. It just is exhausting. Um, let's jump into this. This is the kind of topic which has surprised me. The Minnesota Vikings are still undefeated. Are you surprised? Because they beat the New York Jets in London early this morning, which in London it was late afternoon, 23-17. I'm a little surprised because Minnesota haven't really been that team, and they won the few teams. I think it's only 2 teams left in the NFL. Them and the Kansas City Chiefs, probably 3 that's undefeated. Are you surprised that Minnesota undefeated? Do you think this mean anything? Do you think this change how the season gonna go for them?
I need to ask a question first. Who have they played?
You asked a question, and I have to look this up. Who Minnesota has played? I'm not sure, but let me look up this schedule. Okay, so Minnesota has played. They played the Packers. They played the Texans. They played the 49ers. They did beat the 49ers. They played the Jets. So that's what they beat. And they played the Giants. They played the Eagles don't count. That was in preseason.
The Vikings, they've been in the rebuild stage since Stephon Diggs. Then they sold them off, So I think this is what they've been looking for. You coming back and beating Super Bowl contenders from last year in your first couple weeks in the league. It's still early. It's still early in the season, but this means something. And it definitely could be the build of something great. With the Vikings. I know that if their defense keep doing what they're doing, they're possibly to be unbeaten.
Do you think they're gonna make a huge push a playoff run? I know it's early in the season, but right now looking at them,
like we
because
said,
they got the Lions, the Rams, the Colts, the Jaguars, the Tennessee. They really don't got no really hard opponent coming up. They Nets really, to me, they Nets hard opponent. Dude, really, they ain't got nobody. Well, the Lions, I don't know what the Lions records are right now, but it seems like the Lions next week is they hard, but they got the Rams, the Colts, the Jaguars. I don't think they ain't gotten a hard road to the playoffs to me.
I think they're gonna face most of their trials and tribulations in the playoffs.
Okay.
Based off hearing that, that's what I'm thinking about right now. I think most their. Yeah, it'd be the playoffs. Unless the Lions can pull something out their bag, it'd be the playoffs.
Okay, let's jump onto this team, which I don't like this team. Kansas City Chiefs. Do you think they could three-peat? They back-to-back Super Bowl champs. They got one of the best quarterbacks in the game. I give them that. What you think? You think they could three-peat?
I pray they do not. I want my Ravens to win. My Ravens need to win. We picked up a new running back. We need to win. The Kansas City Chiefs need to be stopped.
So let's jump onto this because that lets me know that you're a Ravens fan. So you ain't got too much good to say about the Kansas City Chiefs. What you think about your Ravens? Because they started the season now. That was kind of like I was pulling for your Ravens to win opening night. What was your thought on that game?
I'm gonna say a little bit about the season first. I feel like it's always rough before the storm, So we had a rough jump, but we done got through the storm, and now we back on a clear path, and we looking forward to winning. Now, I think it was a little bit of an adjustment not having certain players on the field at certain times, because really the Ravens are a chemistry team right now with the adding of Derrick Henry, which he fits right in, but we're a chemistry team right now, So we seen what it was like in 2022 when Lamar wasn't playing due to COVID, and chemistry means a lot on this team. So I feel like we're a chemistry team, and we're building chemistry as we go. So that's what that's why I'll be looking forward to seeing them in the NFL playing against these other teams like the Kansas City Chiefs, which is also a real big chemistry team. But I feel like my team is a bigger one, obviously.
Okay, man. I get you on that. Let's jump into this last question. I'm gonna get to you. Who's going to the Super Bowl this season? Would you think it'd be your Ravens going to make a final run and make the Super Bowls again this year, or do you think it's going to be the Kansas City Chiefs? They go three-peat, or do you think it's another team? And I know it's early prediction. I know it's early. We could come back to have this conversation later on before the playoffs start. But right now, who you got your money on making the Super Bowl?
Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson all the way. Me and Lamar.
Who they going against?
We look. You said the Vikings are undefeated right now.
Yeah, they are undefeated, but they do have some top team, and they don't they actually they got the Commanders. Never mind. I don't know why I even said that.
Man, is a joke, man.
Yeah, they 4-1. Eagles 2-2. I mean, the Vikings got a they
I
have
would
a
love to see the
possibility.
Ravens and the Eagles because that's the NFL's two best quarterbacks going at it right there. Yes, Jalen Hurts is better than Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, that gonna make a Patrick Mahomes. Okay, man. Dang. Okay, so you got right now at this stage you got the Ravens and the Eagles, or
Yes.
Ravens and the Vikings, or Ravens and the Eagles. Okay, cool, man. So definitely, I would love to we follow up with this in the future and see what you think towards the end of the season. If you think you go change. But man, I appreciate you coming on the show real quick. I just want to get back to rule. I want to know what's next for Jaylond. Tell me what's next for you.
In the future, I would love the next time I come up here, I would love to be able to disclose some offers, certain things like that, College is a big thing right now. A big thing, and it's still early in my sophomore year, so we still got basketball season. I'm always looking forward to putting the ball in the hoop, man. So I'm really looking forward, but I'm ready for some big steps. And coming up, this I'm gonna go ahead and say this here. I ain't really told nobody this, but while we on the show, I might as well disclose it. AAU basketball, not doing it no more. I'm gonna play 7-on-7. I'm gonna play 7-on-7 and showcase my skills at wide receiver.
So your main focus now is football.
I couldn't say that because I love both of them, but I know.
But if you had to prioritize one over the other right now, football is going to be football.
Yeah, football.
Got you, man. And I always tell people at your age, at your grade level right now, you got to choose which one's going. You think you got a more chance of being more successful in. Even though you may love one more than the other one, you got to look at the bigger picture. Like, which one am I better at? Which one I know I got a bigger picture, a bigger path to get there. And if you think it's football, definitely go with football, man. And I understand, yeah, because 7-on-7, I heard it helps out a lot. I know quite a few players that do 7-on-7 here in Georgia, so definitely, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Well, man, I definitely I appreciate you coming on the show. It was a good catching up with you. I know it's been a long time since we talked, almost 2 years since we actually I had to sit down with you. So it won't be another 2 years. I'm gonna get you back on the show soon, sometime this season. We're gonna talk a little bit more about. I want to talk more about how your season went, and if y'all make the playoffs, we're gonna talk about that. And we're gonna talk a little bit about your prediction because I want to see how your prediction. Because we're gonna come back, we're gonna bring back this conversation and say this is what you said. Let me see if you stand by that.
All right, we could do that, man.
All right, man. Well, I do appreciate you taking a moment to sit down with me. Anybody you want to give a shot? Anybody you want to give a shout out to before you get off here?
Shout out. Most importantly, shout out to my mama. She make it happen. That's Miss Make It Happen right there. But really shout out to my coaching staff and my friends and family. I keep my circle small, so if I'm messing with you, you mean something. So and shout out to you too, my guy. For real, you showed a lot of love in these past years, made a lot of things possible for me, got my name out there in a couple of different places that it never should have been, So I appreciate that for real, man.
Man, I appreciate you and keep doing what you're doing, keep working hard and keep putting that work and keep grinding because I see you doing it. And we definitely gonna catch up again when you ready. When you get that first offer, let's do it on this show. Come on this show and tell everybody about that offer. Let's do it, make it big.
Let's do it, man.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you taking a moment to sit down with me. I'll catch up with you later.
All right, my guy. Peace out.
All right. See you. Yeah, that was my guy, Jaylond Tate, class of 2027. About to make this quick commercial break, and I'm going to be back with my recap of Bad Blood, WWE Bad Blood last night. And welcome back to DT. Final segment with DT. And we just finished watching WWE Bad Blood on Peacock, and I'm sitting down with my son.
What's up?
and his friend.
What's up?
Tell me your name.
Samuel.
All right, and tell me your name.
Junior.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys joining me for the recap of the show. So let's talk about what happened. We just finished watching WWE Bad Blood. It was a great pay-per-view. Overall, I ain't gonna say great. It was pretty good pay-per-view in my opinion. It was some good matches, some bad matches. And we go recap, we go talk about each match and how we thought each match went, and we go grade the match as well. So we go first match, we go start off with, which was the opening match of the night, which to me, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I felt like this possibly could have been the main event. In my eyes, I feel like the match was that good. So real quick, it was Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk. What was your thought on the match?
I think that it was a very strong opener. Like you said, I do believe it could have been the main event. I mean, it was unhinged. It was a great finish. Kept Drew McIntyre winless in Hell in a Cell. I just think it was a very strong opener, and it kind of set up the pay-per-view really well.
What about you?
I think so as well. But like you said, same thing you said, it could have been a main event. Obviously, they're not going to put Roman and Cody as a opener.
Right.
So, I mean, I think, having that opening, Bad Blood was amazing. The brutality, that hit that Drew took.
Yeah, they started out the pay-per-view with blood.
With blood.
I think that's the only
match. That's the only match with blood.
Yeah.
Right.
And it was a lot. It was a lot on that
match.
The
whole ring was dry blood on the mat, everything.
What do you think was the high point of the match, and what do you could say what was the low point of the match?
I think the high point in the match was I want to say was probably when Punk hit Drew with the toolbox.
Okay.
Because that gave Punk the advantage during the rest of the match. Yeah, Drew still had his moments here and there, but I feel like that kind of was what got Punk over, his adrenaline pushed him over the match. But like the low point, I want to say probably when they were outside, just, kicking each other.
Okay.
Like beating each other up. Because, I mean, it was just simple. Nothing too much.
What you think about the high point?
I really hate to be dry, but I wholeheartedly agree with everything he just said. Like, obviously, you don't expect Drew to be spewing like that. Like after getting hit, like it was I guess it was kind of, I don't know. It set up the brutality for the rest of the match. I think once Punk got bled, and then you see that from Drew, it's ridiculous. And then of course you gotta fight outside the ring. So that's the kind of keeping the match going. That was probably the low point.
Let me ask y'all a question before we grade this match. Were either one of y'all disappointed? Because I think I was that they didn't climb on top of them.
I think it was okay for them to not have climbed outside because the performance inside and the stuff they did inside was not. It would have been like I want to save the grade part, but I think it would have been higher up if they would have went outside and climbed up on the cage.
But you didn't think it was necessary. It wasn't really necessary.
It wasn't. They didn't need it. That's
Because
how good the match was. Yeah,
I agree on that. Okay, so we about to. I want to know, what did y'all grade this on a scale of A? Of course, y'all know it's excellent, to F, which is horrible. What would you grade this match?
I'd give it an A. Maybe an A minus because they didn't go out of the ring, but it still gets an A because it like we said, it wasn't necessary. So I give it like an A minus is up there.
Same thing with me. I give it an A minus as well. What kept it from being an A was obviously they had the opportunity to go outside, and it seemed like they already had the footholds planted for them to climb outside. So if you're like a huge super fan, you kind of like know how WWE works their way into things, you would think they would go climb out. But it's like everything they did inside the ring was good enough for me to not have them climb outside the Hell in a Cell. But it was brutal.
Okay, I respect y'all. I gave it a B, and it's because they didn't you go outside the ring and climb the cage. It was a great match overall. I think it was one of the best matches of the night. Now, as far as when you compare it to other Hell in a Cell, it's not up there at all. So that's one reason I give it a B. Now, if I'm comparing it to other Hell in a Cell matches, it's not gonna get a B. It's gonna go a bit lower than that. But for this pay-per-view, I'm gonna give it a B. So I think it was a good overall match. It was a great start to the pay-per-view.
It was a great opener.
So the next match was Nia Jax versus Bayley. which was for was it the WWE Women's Champion or was that the women? What it was a woman's title.
Yeah,
I
it was a
know
woman's
it was a
title, yeah.
woman's title. I don't know which one it was. I'm gonna start with you on this because I start with you first. What did you think about that match overall?
I've always been, when it came to women, like people like, obviously we can get to that match later, but like people like Rhea Ripley, like who moves around a lot. Though Nia Jax and Baylor are two people that they kind of like it's a slow paced match, so it didn't really interest me as much. But I'd say it was okay. I mean, Nia was basically dominating the whole match, so I mean, in her case, it was like you knew she was gonna win whether Tiffany had came out or not. But the case for her, I mean, it was okay in my opinion. Not too much to speak on it about that. So
What about you?
I mean, truly, I did think that she was gonna be able to cash it in, to be honest. But I mean, like the flow was good. Like both Nia and Bailey both had their moments. Obviously Nia more than Bailey because she was dominant the whole match. I don't really have much to say other than it. I think it was for the first women's. I'm not even gonna get into the second women's match, but for the first women's match of the night, it definitely set the tone pretty well.
Okay.
yeah, no, it was like I said, like those slow pace matches don't really interest me as much. But yeah, it did kind of set the pace for the next one.
Okay. And I agree with y'all both. It wasn't a spectacular match. To me, it's almost like a squash match in a way
Yeah, that's
because
what
I
same
felt
thing.
like now Jax really dominated that match, and it really didn't keep you as interesting as captivating as some of the other matches throughout the pay-per-view. But compared to, as you said, the other one match, it was a good match compared to, and I enjoyed it a little bit. So I'm gonna start off my grading, then I'm gonna go to you, and we go to you. Like overall, I gave that match a C, and that's giving it a high remark. It wasn't the best females match, but for that night, it was probably the best female match of the night. And what about you?
I totally agree. I couldn't agree more. I'm honestly gonna give it a C minus.
Okay,
I mean, the words out of my mouth. It was like out of the two, it was definitely the more exciting one.
right.
But I mean, I don't really got much else to say. That was kind of just
Gotcha.
that was just kind of the gist.
I give it a C as well. It wasn't nothing it's spectacular, but it wasn't like awful. But like you said, for the night, it kind of put on a display. Like I said, we'll get to the second match. Second
Well,
women's
they're
match.
gonna be shorter conversation, I guarantee.
Oh yeah.
Third match of the night was Damian Priest versus Finn Balor. Great match. I enjoyed. Great. It was now I'm gonna say great match. Where I changed. Let me not use the word great. It was a good match. I liked the ending more than I liked the match. It was an exciting ending. Very energetic, very high move, fast pace. I like fast paced matches. Those are my favorite type of matches. Overall, I think it was a good match. It was a good match. What your thought was?
Yeah, I mean, that's what Finn Balor's been doing his whole career. It's always, fast paced, the high finish, the coup de grace at the end. It's always, the ending was just go for three. The third one you get caught, you get help and then it backfires on you type of thing. So I think it was of course the ending was definitely the highlight rather than the overcourse of the overall match.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to say I like how they kickstarted the match as soon as the bell rung. They went right into it. Sometimes it depends on who's wrestling. It's fine if they're standing there for a minute, like how Punk and Drew did. They eyed down each other for a minute, but Damian Priest had a bunch of built up anger from Finn Balor betraying them, so it's like he went straight at Finn Balor. So I mean, I like when they get right into it. But yeah, for the most part, the ending was kind of what sealed it for me. I was like, that kind of brought me back in because I mean, it wasn't like it wasn't losing me, but that's what kind of like brought me back into it. Like, okay, he's got a third one. Third time's never the charm when it comes to WWE. So
Yeah, third thing, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Overall, what would you rate that match? What grade? What would you grade that match?
I will give it a B minus.
A B minus.
B minus. I'm not gonna say I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt. Was better than the last women's match. Like I said, the ending is kind of what brought it back up. Because I think they would have just played it out, and let's say Finn would have won, I probably C, if I'm being honest. But like overall, I think it was a fairly decent match. Not great, not bad, but it was good for the paper.
Okay, so I gave CM Punk and McIntyre a B, correct?
Yep.
There's no way I could get this higher than a B.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, this will get a C plus, and that's pushing it. C plus. It was like I said, the ending would saved it because that ending didn't happen. It probably been a C minus or a C. So it was a good match. Could they have dealt without that in the pay per view? Yes, it could have been one of the matches. Yes, it didn't. But like that could not have been a pay per view. But for it being in the middle, it was in the right spot for the pay per view.
Yeah.
What you say?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with it. I'll give it a B minus as well. The ending carried it, like has been previously stated. I think honestly that could have been a match that's on Raw tomorrow, like on Monday night. To be honest, that's just. I mean, that it wasn't. It just it didn't have. It was perfectly sandwiched in the middle where all the action is at the end and the beginning, and then it's kind of I don't know. It just wasn't all that.
Got you. So we go to the next title match, but it is another women's match, which is Liv Morgan versus Ray. How you pronounce her name?
Rhea
Ripley.
Rhea Ripley.
Oh, so they first of all,
I'll let you start. Go ahead.
this match is way too hyped up to have the finish and the overall match of like itself. Like it was this could have been a match we could have seen on Raw, but I want to say before the Finn Balor Damian Priest one. They hyped it up to be like something like you'd like this. All their matches before this have been way better. This is probably like the worst out of the feud. I don't think it didn't meet its expectations at all, and the finish was also botched as well because the ref was not supposed to see that girl Raquel Rodriguez hit Rhea Ripley because that's why she went over to drag Liv Morgan over Rhea's body. I was scrolling on Instagram and I seen they actually botched it, so it was a poor finish and the match was just they didn't drag it.
Yeah, I feel like originally, like before the match started and they raised Dom up in the shark cage, I made a comment on how like low, but so like it was kind of expected that he was able to jimmy his way out of the lock, and then he fell. Like the whole falling thing was, I think, more for like comedic relief than like an actual substance. So, and then obviously the botch at the end, it looked like a failed high school play. Like it just everyone just looking, and then the bell rings, and it didn't even seem like they knew what was going on at the end. Like it was just it was a mess.
I don't have anything to say on it because y'all said enough for me. So let's jump to the ratings on this. I'm gonna start with you. What did you rate this?
Bro, that was horrible. I can't the only reason why I don't know, like the first match just supersedes this one by default because of how poor the Rhea Ripley Liv Morgan match was carried out at the end. It was I have no words. Like that's just a fail for me.
Yeah. What about you?
Giving it an F. If there's an F minus, I'll give it.
Yes.
I'll give it an F. No, it's just finish is kind of what brought it made it worse too. I would have gave it the benefit of the doubt, probably like a D plus, but that finish kind of like it sealed it for me. I was like, nah.
I give it an F. Keep it right there. Me personally, they should have flipped the title. The title should have went to Rhea. I mean, that's how they could have made the match better. But it's an F or raw horror match. I was not interested. Actually, I was looking at my phone more than I was looking at the match. So let's jump to the main event because that's what we want to talk about. We had Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes versus the Bloodline, Solo and Jacob. So we're gonna start with you. What did you think about this match?
Oh my goodness, where do I start? I mean, we know how the WWE works. Like with all these main events, they have to stretch it a little bit. I mean, I'm not gonna lie when I say that whenever Cody was getting beat up on and Roman got taken out of the off the rings, like the apron and everything, and he's just basically just frozen in place. I'm like, I couldn't say I wasn't bored like with that, but when the action was going, it was going. Like at the end with the frog splash on the announcer's table, I didn't think he was gonna get it off. I thought Jacob was either gonna move or Cody would be distracted and get ripped off the top. I mean the off the post, but and then of course like the biggest surprise you got, Uso coming back.
Me.
Yeah, Jamie's coming back, man, and I think Junior, you said you saw him in the crowd, something
It
like
looked
that.
like I saw him in the crowd,
Yeah.
but I seen a dude in a bandana standing right in between Tonga Loa and Tama Tonga, and I was like, wait a minute, that looks too familiar. And
Yeah,
takes
man.
the hood off.
Oh my gosh, and I think it was a perfect setup because Cody took himself and Jacob out, and that set up the ending for Solo and Roman, and that was just it was just a beautiful. Honestly, I think that was a good end to the pay-per-view for sure.
What about you?
Say the same thing as well. I mean, yeah, like you said, they have to drag like those main event matches, especially with top stars like that. They have to drag those matches out. Like the first 20 minutes is gonna be a bunch of clawing, but then you're eventually gonna get some points of action. But overall, for me, that match, it was very enjoyable. Especially, starting. I got to see Roman and Jacob Fatu in the same ring. I mean, I've been waiting for that for so long. I mean, yeah, Jacob Fatu was like basically demolishing Roman because in WWE faces mostly get like torn apart and they have their moments, obviously. But overall, I do think that was a great match.
I ain't gonna go great. I know y'all gave great. I ain't gonna go great. I'm gonna say good. It was a very good match. I'm glad to see Roman back. I enjoyed seeing Roman back. I'm a fan of Roman. I like his style of wrestling. I like Cody. I like Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu is probably my favorite right now in the WWE, hands down.
For sure.
I want to see him get a title run. I would love to see him get a title run. I would love to see him as a tribal chief. I would love to see him branch out from that because I love his energy. I love the way, the style he wrestles. So overall, it was a very good match. And I was glad to see the ending, of course, to see one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, top 3 of all time, the Brahma Bull. Do you want to smell what the Rock is cooking? Show his face, come out there and stare at the crowd, not say a word, look around, and walk back out. I enjoyed it.
The aura of the Rock.
I've always been a fan of Rock. I don't care what anybody say about him. He could come and go all he wants to, regardless of what John Cena used to say when he used to hate on him because he came and go. He's the Rock, but now John Cena doing the same.
John Cena is the same guy.
Oh my
John
God.
is the same. John Cena is the same guy.
Hypocrite is crazy.
So let's go. Overall, I'm gonna go first. My grading. I gave the first match of the night was a B.
You said C.
No, I'm talking the first match.
Oh, the first. Oh, yeah.
I gave it a B. Because The Rock showed up, I'm giving this a B plus. It was going to get a B. It was going to tie, but The Rock made the appearance at the end, so it's a B plus on my end.
Yeah, I mean, I'll keep it straight with a B. Yeah, like the Rock at the end was just so like, you always hope, you always hope for like some sort of big surprise ending, exactly. And I think that they did deliver. Honestly, we didn't even talk about it. I think that the introduction of the Crown Jewel Championship with the world champion and the WWE champion, the world's women and the WWE women's champion, like that's a pretty cool announcement as well for the Crown Jewel coming up in a few months. So overall,
honestly, yeah.
4 weeks.
I think
4 weeks, 4 months.
I think Goldberg getting out, hopping in
the
the square was better than that match.
We'll talk about it in a second. Give it a grade real quick.
This match, I'll give it an A. Actually, no, I'll give it an A because, like I said, I was hoping that The Rock would come out there, because it kind of, it's The Rock. I mean, he doesn't need to say anything. He can just go out there, give the crowd a stare, like you said, and make his presence known.
Okay.
He's the final boss.
Okay, so overall, what's your overall grading for the pay-per-view? You go first.
Overall, I'm gonna give it a B, like a flat B. Because like that mid-card match brought it down a little bit. But, the opening and the finale was perfect. I want to say those
are more like the video game,
just like just how we play. The opening and the finale was perfect, so I give it a flat out B. Yeah.
What'd you give overall?
I agree. Like and I meant to save that crown jewel comment for this segment.
No, I know
so,
you're good.
Yeah. So a B. Yeah. It's
I give B. So we all gave it a B across the board. I give it a B overall. Real quick, what match could have been left out and who you think should have been in the pay-per-view? We already kind of know.
Yeah,
this.
So okay, well, obviously the Liv Morgan Rhea Ripley match is definitely going to be left off. I've been out of the loop a little bit on like Raw and SmackDown, so I'm not gonna give my opinion on what should be in there. I'm gonna kind of let you guys carry this part because you guys have obviously been more into.
But you probably agree with me when I'm about to say this. Gunther.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it. There you go.
I think Gunther definitely should have been in the pay-per-view. But I don't know why. They're saving his match for Raw, but I think definitely it could have been
a
better placeholder. Gunther versus Sami Zayn.
That should have been
It would have been a better placeholder instead of Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan.
And they could have put that on Raw.
They could.
I mean, honestly, I think that maybe even since it's a title match, maybe keep, if they don't botch it, they keep that on in the pay-per-view and replace the Damian Priest Finn Balor match to kind of keep it like a title kind of thing. Maybe like a title pay-per-view. So maybe so.
Okay. What same with you? Is that the match you would think should have been?
Yeah, I think Gunther for sure definitely should have fought Sami Zayn out there. I think those two matches should have been swapped.
So what was the big pop for you that wasn't a match that happened throughout the show? I think you said the crown jewel was yours, and yours was Bill Goldberg. Was it something else?
Oh well, I wanted Goldberg to get in there, and like you said, you wanted him to get beat up. I wanted Goldberg. I wanted Gunther to show Goldberg what he was made of. I wanted Goldberg to get beat. Because Goldberg was out there. I was hoping he would plow through that security, get in the ring, and Gunther would just smack him.
Yeah, because we know they're not gonna let the champion get beat.
They're not. Goldberg's not about to just destroy it.
They're not gonna let him be. Okay, so overall, we rated a B. Our favorite match of the night. It seemed like the favorite match of the night was all the same. The first match, because we all kind of rated that highs, and then I guess our second match was the main event, and everything between was just everything between. It was just there. It's fillers for the show.
Yeah,
and so like they could have had better show, but overall, good pay-per-view. WWE. Hopefully, looking forward to the crown jewel. I think it's gonna be good. I'm looking forward to that. I'm hoping Liv Morgan lose the title by then. I really want to, because I think I want to see Mia Jax versus somebody like Rhea Ripley. I would love to see that in the main event. See them battle each other. Because I'm gonna be honest, if it's Liv versus Mia, we already know Mia gonna win. She will win.
She's gonna squash her. Yes. I think Rhea Ripley would definitely be a great, she has more arsenal to her skill set, and she moves around better. She's stronger, obviously. So I feel like it'd be a better match to watch in general.
And last thing, do y'all feel like when The Rock made an appearance, that's opened up the door for Survivor Series, a 4-on-4 match elimination?
Oh yeah,
most definitely.
Do we know who he's teaming up with?
Yeah, I think he go team up with Roman. I think that's what it gonna be, Roman. Because you want to tell you the reason why I say this is because he didn't come out, he didn't talk, when he was doing his live on Instagram, he was doing the face. Yeah. He was being a face. He wasn't being a heel. Right. Did you notice he wasn't?
Oh, he was smiling.
Smile.
Beforehand, when he would come out there, he'd be all angry.
Yeah, and then when he was a heel, he'd talk smack, but he was all praising and everything on himself. And when he told
only thing he said,
Johnson to go eat
but then he did say, Cody Rhodes, I hate that guy. He sucks. I don't know if you heard that part.
Yeah.
That's the only part.
He told Dustin, "You my that when
he said, your son, I hate
your son.
I hate your son."
But he still was positive, so I think he's going to be a face for now. But hey guys, I appreciate y'all taking a moment. We sit down here and we got to recap WWE Bad Blood. If you haven't seen it, definitely go see it on Peacock. It was worth watching. If you only want to see one match on two matches, better see the first and the last and just fast forward through the middle.
Janet Jackson, live in Las Vegas. Janet Jackson, performing all her #1 hits. Live at Resorts World Theater, Las Vegas, opening December 30th through February 15th. Get tickets now at access.com. Janet Jackson, Las Vegas, produced by AEG Presents. For more, visit janetjackson.com.
Yo, this your guy DT. I'm back. Thank you for tuning into the final statement with DT. And I'm here, of course, I do my final statement. And this will be my okay, hold on. Why is it not playing Why is my sounds not playing? I had a sound that I wanted to play, and it's not even playing. Why it's not playing, but it's all good. So, my final statement for the show, and this is dedicated to all you black men out there once again that got mad with Magic Johnson for coming to Michigan for Kamala Harris and said he's trying to tell us how to vote. Really. And my boy Plies had a good rebuttal for this on his Instagram, which I should have had played on him, but I'm going to say it right now. Plies said all these black men got mad with Magic Johnson for telling them about voting for Kamala Harris. However, all you black men work for someone, work for the white man who tell you what to do every single day, tell you how to do your job, tell you what you should and should not do, tell you when you go to break, tell you when you can come back, tell you when you can clock out, tell you if you're approved for vacation, tell you you're approved for sick time. They tell you all of this. They tell you that 24/7. But you never complain. Never say, hey, he trying to tell me how to do my job. You don't never complain about that. Yes, I know what the rebuttal is. He pays me. Right. But he still tell you what to do. But when a black man come and tell you about how you should about voting, you get all his and you run to social media and you put them on blast. My thing is, my final statement is stop being idiots. Stop being idiots. Y'all are so used to the white man telling you what to do. Y'all are so used to being in control. Y'all are so used to a white man controlling you that you don't want to see a sister in control. And most of y'all probably not even married to sisters. I'm not married to a sister. And my mom know my preference. I'm not really into black women as many. I like some, but not all. I like white women. I like Asian women. I like Indian. My ex-wife was Indian. But I support my black women and everything they do. Because when you look at my top 5 of most beautiful, 4 out of the 5 were black. So I'm just saying this thing. So yeah, but I'm just telling you all, stop being idiots. Because a lot of y'all are idiots and a lot of y'all are stupid and y'all keep talking about people trying to tell you what to do, but so is Donald Trump. He's trying to tell you to vote for him. You're not complaining about him. He's telling you how to go vote. I don't see you going out there on social media and blasting him and telling him, oh, he's trying to tell us how to vote. You have to cheer him on and praise him. Oh, he's going to do right for the country. Like Magic Johnson said, what has he done for black people lately? And you cannot tell me one thing. And you bring up that stimulus check, you're making a fool of yourself because you can't tell me one thing he has done for the black community. Y'all just want to be different and want to be idiots. I'm going to leave it at that. So you go vote how you want to vote. Mainly vote. But it's one right candidate, and we know that's Kamala Harris, who's going to get things on the right track. The Republican Party needs to hurry up and push Donald Trump out the building. ASAP. That's all I got to tell on that. This is your boy, DT. The final statement with DT. Thank you for tuning in for my show. And thank you for my guest, Jaylond Tate. Also, my son, Junior, and his friend, Sam. Thank y'all for being on my show this week. Tune in next week. Got 2 special guests. We're going to talk about some real tough subjects. We're going to talk about self-love. We're going to talk about loving yourself. We're going to talk about relationship. We're going to talk about marriage in the new era. We're going to talk about a lot of things. I got 2 beautiful women going to join my show. Possibly could be 3, but right now, I got 2 beautiful women. They're going to sit down, and we're going to talk about everything. And that's what I want. I want to have that conversation because self-love is very important. Mental health is very important. Relationships, marriage, everything. Let's put it on the table. So tune in next week because if you got some questions, join the show. Put it out there. I'm going to add it to the conversation. We're going to have a real good conversation with these women. And I'm sorry I went over an hour. Won't happen again. I just had to get that out there. I'm going to try to control it. Got to get it together. I know this is my second show. You know, I'm trying to get everything together. I'm trying to keep it on the 60 minutes. But this is your guy, DT. I appreciate you tuning in to the final statement with me. I hopefully see you next weekend. Same channel, same time, same station, same host. This is your boy DT, and I will see you next week.
It's DT. You have just now listened to the most talked about podcast in the country. DT, unfiltered, uncensored. Thank you for tuning in, and see you next time. Damn. DT.